Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk, guys, and I just finished the Vz-44-1. So I've done this a couple times in the past. We'll do a little mini 100 battle review of the VZ. I do have a review of it when it first came out somewhere in the archives back there. Look in the tank review section and search Vz-44. But here it is. I finished 100 battles. Take a look at it real quick. Curious about how good this tank is. Well, let's jump in here to its stats. I've got rid of all of the premium and reward tier 7s. But its win rate puts it at about 5th or so, 5th or 6th. DPG is actually number 1 for the tech tree tanks. Get the frags number 1. Assist is somewhat lower at 4. Hit percentage, got kind of a derpy gun, so it's down there a ways. Pen percentage at 3rd. So as you can see, this is not bad. Blocked, a little worse than I thought, but it's down here towards the number 6 or 7 position. So overall, it actually does okay. It gets a bit of hate, and it's really a pretty good tank. I ended up 2-marking it. Now, when I say pretty good, again, you have to go into your own cranium and ask yourself, is a good tank to me a really good overpowered tank? That's what I call a good tank. Or is a good tank to you a competent tank? So in this case, I'm calling it a good tank because it's a competent tank. And it may be a little more competent than you think. I really believe it to be so. I did pretty well. 59% win rate in 100 battles. We ended up 2-marking it right there. I'm sitting currently at 86.72%. Statistics-wise, 67% hit rate. Yeah, that it's a little bit rough on the derpiness. Battle survive 53 with a 59%. Win rate 1.61 damage, 2.83 destruction, and 0.39 armor use is starting to reach the level of situationally good armor. The thing about this tank is its whole armor profile is decent, not amazing. So it's not really a super hold down turret tank, say like a T-29, but the turret is useful at times. But the hull is also pretty good, and the way it's laid out is decent for angling. So unfortunately, you're not talking about a monster hold down tank where you're getting your bounces off the turret mostly. It's pretty much all around a decently armored tank against tier 7 and lower. Tier 8, some bounces here and there. So I'm not telling you this is a mouse or a great armored tank, but it's actually situationally and overall, it's a pretty good package overall for the armor. 1,645 average damage right there, 361 average assistance. Best game was 3,847 and 8 kills. And I will tell you, towards the last 20, usually I have a bit of a dive in the last 20 battles. This thing really came on towards the end, and I was dropping a considerable number of 3,000 damage battles with this thing, so really nice. Let's take a quick look at the comparison here. What I've done on this one is I've got the stock tank with just 100% crew right here. Although actually, now that I think about it, I'm probably lying to you. That's right. So just bear with me while I fix this. There we go. Now it's got 100% crew. So nothing changes on the average alpha, or the average alpha is 320. 206 average pen is really actually a pretty decent, for a tier 7 standard pen is not bad at all right there. Gun loading, I'm running a IA, I'm running a turbo, and I'm running a rammer. All right, so my gun loading with the skills and whatnot comes down a little bit. This gives me a slight boost in DPM from, wherever I find it here, where is it? 1,655 to 1,768. So this is not a massive DPM tank, but 320 is a decent alpha. It's not quite the 390 of an IS, but I would say the gun is better than an IS by a considerable margin. And it's also got a -8 depression, which is, that approach is useful on ridges and hold down spots. So overall, what we have here is a really nice all-rounder kind of tank. I got the aiming down to 2.24, and the IA and the rest of the skills. Now this is considerable, all right, guys? With everything I've put on this, food, brother in arms, the IA, all the other little doodads, possibilities, we'll take a look at my setup in a second. I dropped this from 0.42 to 0.36, and 0.36 is starting to get rather reasonable, and I'm not going to say it's a sniper, but it's better at sniping, clearly better than a 0.42, so I really like the IA on this tank. Here's what I was talking about in the armor. 110's really pretty good on the whole. It's got some angling. 200 is okay on the turret. The turret's not greatly angled either, but that kind of tells the story. They're good, but not great armor. I like the turbo on this because it is a little bit sluggish, and it gets me from a top speed of 30, which feels real sluggish, to a 35. And the big key, I think, is the reverse as well. getting out of the fight a little bit when you need to back out of it, and it's going to add 3 on there with your turbo. So not bad. I liked running the turbo. These were all Bounty, by the way. So come over here into the garage. Like I said, Bounty Rammer, Bounty Turbo, Bounty IA, improved aiming. I was running food here, and I was running a fire extinguisher directive because I don't have the crew all the way up to fire. In fact, I only have a couple guys really that have worked on their fire at all. Brothers in Arms, kind of the standard things. We've got a three skill crew working on their third. All the standard stuff you might think in terms of crew stuff over there. So there you have it. There you have it. Vz-44. Quick rundown of the stats. Let's take a look at a game. All right, I named this file actually Nothing Wrong with This Tank after I had this game. I did have a slightly higher damage game, 3600 Ace on El Haluf I considered using, but that was top tier doing a lot of bullying. Here I'm middle tier, so I'm not bottom tier, although I didn't bother actually. It didn't bother me that much being bottom tier in this tank. I found it to be quite effective in all of its tiering. Top tier, it's quite a monster, like most of the tier 7 heavies are. You start talking about a T-29 and a Tiger and whatnot, top tier and IS, they can do really well. So here we are on Berlindorf. We're on a standard battle, and we spawned in over here on the east side. And notice that even though we have tier 8s, we don't have any heavy tier 8s. We have 2 Barasks, that's pretty good. They're good tanks, but everything heads south. Nobody wants to hang out with Guido and the horrible Vz-44-1 over here. So I do not push into here because I'll just get swarmed and killed. I figure I'll sit here and maybe get some snipe shots at guys if they're foolish coming around the corner. Maybe they wonder where everybody is and they peeky poo and I take a shot at them and get some damage. And if I have to fall back and run away, I'll do so. Now I'm very interested in what's going to happen down in the south because I'm watching down there as they engage. I don't see any of their big kids. I do know where their 54 Mod 1 is, though. He's trolling around in the middle somewhere. Where is the Iron Arnie? That's probably the big one. Oh, hello, Iron Arnie. Iron Arnie is over there camping. So I don't have to worry about the Iron Arnie. I do have to deal with a Mod 1. And then, of course, the next question is, where is the RHM? Oftentimes, RHMs will go to the north side of the map on this and try to shoot people on the side, down the heavy brawling area. But they also camp down there in the south, so it's very possible he's down there somewhere as well. So very tentative move on our team's part, but they are really overmatching the south. So honestly, this game basically relies on the south winning. If they get rolled up, there's not a whole lot I'm going to do right here. I'll just continue to hold on to this particular corner, see if I can't find out if they're going to push. And the longer it goes, the more sure I am that they didn't send very many people. If you look at their setup, they don't have any heavies either. You know, the Iron Arnie and the T-54 Mod 1, those are the two I was worried about showing up here in the north. Maybe with a Chi-Ri in tow and a couple of the other tier 6s. And then that's just going to be a swarm festival. I'm going to get absolutely swarmed by these guys. And look at that. You got to love it, man. Just a little snapshot goes in. You can't expect all your .36 dispersion shots to hit, but way better than a .42, and I sneak one in on that guy, which is absolutely fantastic. Artie does not seem to be interested. You know, if you don't get engaged till later in the game and you are on a flank that is kind of a sideshow like this one is at this point, you see all the little markers dropping down in the south. The Artie's busy shooting everybody in the south. That's where the fight is. So more than likely I'm not going to be shot at least for a while. Notice the T-54 moves away, doesn't want to duel with the heavy gun right there, so he bails out, and now he's looking for shots across on people being a little bit silly over there. I'll just come around this corner, and I'm pretty sure the RHM's not over here, but guess what, he is. So we'll sneak away this way. A little jink to the left keeps him from shooting at us, and now I've got to be careful here. The Artie's probably going to start taking note that I've moved up, but I'm really curious. All right, what's this Mod 1 doing? Where'd he go? There he is. A little bounce, you got to like that, right? Just take a shot in there, aim a bit as he's rocking. We got the APCR going on. He did not like that and decides to move away, go hold down. And now we've got the RHM. And I thought the RHM wasn't looking at me, but he absolutely was. Lucky there, I miss, and he bounces, so I'll take it. Very lucky, I'll take it right there. Make that guy miss, and I need to move out. All right, so he takes a hit. Very nice. I've got a couple guys sneaking up in there. The 100Y's kind of making a little use of himself, and oh, that's unfortunate. kind of a bad shot. He pushes in on the poor 100Y, and I can't really help that guy. So I start to back out of this. Now our team is losing pretty well. We're down 1-5. That south push, look at it. It just absolutely collapsed. So I'm going to have to try to kill as much as I can over here and hold on. Good news for Team Guido. Both Borosks are still alive. That's actually very good. I thought about going down these stairs and trying to come up behind the RHM. But I'm not, to be honest with you, I'm not sure if I can. I think there's a way to come up on the other side. I don't mess around on this side of the map that much. So I really didn't want to overdo it. And all of a sudden we're in just big trouble. And at this point, I'm just looking to hold on as much as possible. This dude shows up, probably going to eat a shot there. He misses. I'm not even sure what he was shooting at. Maybe was he shooting at someone behind me? I don't know. He might have been... Was there a window? I don't know. I'm not really even sure what the heck he was shooting at, but we're going to push this dude, try to ram him and kill him. Unfortunately, I don't do anywhere near as much damage as I wanted to. I'm probably going to eat a shot right here. Yep. No surprise there. I'll just back out. Probably should have not auto-aimed. That's the problem with auto-aiming in that situation. You notice it was aiming more or less right at his gun. I was risking bouncing off the gun. All of a sudden, we're kind of making a comeback, fellas. We're at 6-8. We've gotten rid of their T-54 Mod 1. We killed their RHM. That leaves the Iron Arnie wandering around somewhere. This Hellcat's making a move. See if we can kill this dude. No, not quite. Second time I've missed right there. Sort of wasting APCR as well. Now, when I say waste in this situation, I'm not talking about you know, the orthodoxy is kicked in and you don't have any skill if you use gold rounds. I may need those later against something like an Iron Arnie. So you do want to be judicious with the use depending on how many of them you carried. And I tend to just dab 2 and fire until they're gone. In this case, I was able to save 2. So that's probably better than I usually do. It's something to try to bring into your cross-check in the game, and I do struggle with it at times. So we're going to push in and see if we can't sneak a shot on this Hellcat. I'm like, I don't even know who just lit me. No idea. This is going to suck. Some Artie's going to hit me. Somebody's going to shoot me in the side. I don't know. Kind of dodge in here and hide in case there's something in the middle. I don't want to drive down that road or something hanging out in the middle. All of a sudden we're 10-9. That's looking really good. The Borosks have made a big move in the comeback kind of idea. One of them goes down. The other one's still raging. He's up in the north killing Artie, which is fine. All right, we find this dude. We'll let it zoom in as much as possible before he gets behind some rubble or some cover, and then we'll just sneak up into here, try to minimize as much as possible any little sniperino shots. And we're in pretty good shape now. We've got a Kanonen Jagdpanzer, we've got a Borosk, myself, and 2 artillery, and the 2 artillery are relatively safe, although people could start coming from the south right there. So I'll just swing back around and come in and support the Borosk because he's moving in. I don't know what the Kanonen's doing, honestly. I really wish he'd come back, but I don't know. Is he looking for their artillery? Flanking? I'm flanking? I don't know. It is the long way around. It really looks like he's looking for Artie, so I don't know if he doesn't realize they're dead or maybe he just really wants to do the long flank. No idea. We've got 1,870 damage. We got 2 kills. We're able to hold that flank from collapsing. Got a couple of the tier 8s out over there. Got another Hellcat out, and now working with the Borosk, the 2 artillery, and the Kanonen, and now we're just driving around trying to find where in the heck are these dudes. Iron Arnie is dangerous. That's not a guy I want to get face to face with. I lose that fight just about every time. I really need to find a side shot on him or get some kind of crossfire with my buddies so somebody is shooting into the side or back. We're not all trying to shoot through the turret. Even the front armor on that thing's pretty good, especially if I chew through my 2 last APCR rounds and I'm trying to shoot AP at him. And now they put some cap pressure on. Well, that's fine. That lets me know there's at least 1 right there. And if 1 got on, generally that means there are some others over there with him. Artie goes in, stuns the Iron Arnie, and it doesn't look like it's the Iron Arnie, obviously, from his spot on the minimap. It's somebody else that's on the cap right there. We'll use these buildings to come through, sort of look right in case there's somebody there. And now we find an Easy 8, and he's moved up a bit, going to be vulnerable potentially to shots. This is where the turbo that I'm using comes into effect. I'm not exactly zipping around this map, but I certainly am getting there faster than I otherwise would have. And mid to late game is where turbos really come into their own. Obviously, at any time and initial positioning and yada yada. But really, when you have to reposition and move around, there is a big difference between 30 and 35. Find that guy just sitting out in the open. Thump him once, little low roll there. Takes an already hit. There's another easy 8 over there. All right, so can't shoot that one. He's hidden. We'll try to sneak one in. Let it zoom in all the way. Hey, right on. That actually went right where I was aiming. We'll take it. And then he backs out from behind the cover and gives me a really good and easy second shot on him. Should probably clear him out. There we go. If we close him out, be difficult to low roll that guy. And all of a sudden we're up to 2,717 damage. We cleared a few guys off, and I bounced that easy 8. He gets another shot and tracks me. We'll fix it and keep on backing out. I do not want to get pinned down by that guy. So I managed to avoid that. Our Borovska's taken some heavy hits, so he's down to a 1 shot to several of them. 2 shot to the easy 8. I'm going to come around this way because the St. Emilio is over here somewhere. And I want to make sure this dude goes away. That's a heavy hitting gun. I don't want to have to deal with it. He's not very maneuverable. Not very scary with the armor, but the gun sucks. If you get hit by it, that's a bummer. And I think he's probably not got very far from this spot over here. There he is. We find him. He figures out I'm there, but too late, and we shut him down. And all of a sudden, it's 13 to 10. We have an easy 8 right there. The Iron Arnie's pushing in. It looks like he's coming. So I was sort of pushing, but I saw that marker charging. I'll just accept that. He'll come around the corner. That's a miss. We'll back around, try to avoid the hit. Notice that KPZ is now putting cap pressure on them. So he knows he has to kind of charge in here and get rid of me. He can't let me sit there and shut him down. He's probably also hoping beyond hope that maybe he can get to the other cap, which he's not going to at 12 seconds, but maybe the other guy comes off the cap, kill all, no cap, all that kind of stuff. But gives me a nice shot into the front quarter right there, and we shut down that dude. And that's it. Somebody else somewhere in there killed the easy 8. I'm assuming the Borovska or Artie or something. The Borovska says, sorry I tried. Actually, he did fantastic. He was the guy getting the spots. He was the guy keeping him busy. Allowed me to work around the edges and help him kill those guys off that were causing crossfire. So he shouldn't be sad at all. It was nicely done by him. 3,068 damage, 1,000 bounce, only 41 assists, and 5 kills in a nice little victory. And that's why I named this one. It's a pretty good tank, right? There's nothing wrong with this tank. Absolutely. It is easily an average tier 7. I consider it slightly above average tier 7 tech tree. Let's not get too crazy because most of the top tier 7s are also reward and premium tanks. But I did not mind it as much. I started, I want to say, it's probably in the mid 50s, win rate 53, something like that. When I started it, I remember liking it a lot less than the premium, and I like the premium quite a bit still. But this one has grown on me. I consider it way better than I thought it was at the beginning. Like I said, ending with 59% win rate and 2 mark. Nice little tier 7. That's all I've got. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Let me know what you think about the Vz-44-1. Am I overstating it? Is it not really that good? Is it better than most people think? Let me know. That's all I've got. We will see ya.